Welcome back to Beast Machines Monday. I am your host, Decepticon Doug.
And I am your other host, Predacon Paul.
And today we are talking about the weak component. And it is an episode
of Beast Machines. This episode starts with Monkeybot in the Odin sleep.
in his brain, thinking place.
He's having visions. Visions of the future. Visions of the past. He doesn't perceive time in a linear fashion like us plebs, us mortals.
They've been getting him some medicinal, So he's having some dreams. They're going a little more psychedelic. Rattrap grows big. He falls and cracks. Megatron's like, ha 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 ha.
Holds him in his hand, and then he's like, bah, ha, ha, ha.
And then Optimus wakes up. He's like, Rattrap? What?
Oh, jeez.
Where's Rattrap?
Something's wrong.
Black Arachne comes in. She's like, hey, chill out, monkey boy. Actually, to be honest, if I just woke up from a bad dream, the thing that would relax me the least is if a giant spider comes crawling towards me going, calm down, calm down. like, oh my god.
Sticking its little leggy things on you. Oh, don't touch me.
No, this is way straight to panic attack right there. I'm not even arachnophobic, but like, if a black arachne-sized spider came charging at me, I would become arachnophobic very fast.
She's the size of a giant gorilla orangutan.
Yes. So.
No, thank you.
So yeah, Optimus is having a little trouble chilling. She's like, don't worry about Rattrap. He's just off with Cheetor and Night Scream. Yes, Night Scream, right? Night Scream.
The edgy bat one.
Yeah, rhymes with ice cream. Right,
Yeah.
Okay. And they're out on a mission, and it's going to be super cool, super chill.
Recon only, as they say.
Anytime anything happens, they're all going to turn to each other and go like, shh. Anyways, cut to Rattrap, and there's explosions everywhere, and there's guns and tanks and motorcycles.
And Rattrap's like, how can I be useful to you guys? I just want to help. And then Cat Guy's like, get out of here. You suck because you're stuck in your beast mode when all of us are cool and in the transforming club. I got a question for you. If you were going on a recon mission and you only needed people who could transform, why did you bring Rattrap? Idiot. He basically shuts him down in the least friendly way possible. I get it. He's being shot at. He needs to lead the troops. He's in charge.
But also, he's doing all right. Like he's doing this like beep, 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 like thing, and he's not even looking. You have to have Jedi reflexes to be able to knock lasers out of the air.
Or be Sebulba.
Night Scream is really getting like kind of cozying up to Cheetor. Like they've been friends this whole time. Like as if he's not the new guy.
Well, that's really putting it into context here. Like Rattrap and Cheetor have the entirety of the Beast Wars, and the whole time before that on the Axelon.
I mean, if you look back, Rattrap was the guy who saved Cheetor from being eaten by a spider.
Yeah.
Cheetor's being surrounded by a bunch of bikes, and they're all like, pew, pew. But as usual, Cheetor's just like, woo, woo.
And he's also a...
Exactly. And then Thrust comes up, and he's like, Thrust Afterburn. He does seem like shockingly bigger. Like, I knew that the Viacon generals were bigger, but I don't think they're that much bigger.
I didn't realize there was a size difference originally until this episode.
He's about to shoot Cheetor. Night Scream comes in, sucks all Thrust energy out, so he's like, oh, I'm out of this episode. And then, then they notice that all the little guys shut down when the big guy shuts down, which is pretty convenient.
Yeah.
It's like the Borg Queen.
It's like the mothership from Independence Day.
So Cheetor's like, let's go get the jet dude and the tank dude and do that to them. And Night Scream's like, I can't, I'm too full. I'm just too full. I just drank all that energy. Have you never been in a hot dog eating competition? You know how many hot dogs those guys can pack back? A lot. You just gotta dip it in some water.
Have you ever seen a burger eating contest? Beethoven, the second one. So then they're like, hey, we've got a cunning plan. If we can somehow get the generals to come after us.
And then when you lure them there, I'm gonna go behind them and kick them in.
Night Scream is all like, hey, Cheetor, should we tell Rattrap, who's up in that control booth, what our cunning plan is?
Cheetor's like, why? He's just an idiot loser who can't transform.
Ha!
He's dead to me.
He's dead to me. I didn't want to go there.
Okay. The plan's happening. It looks like Jetstorm and Tankor are going to kill Nightscream and Rattrap.
They forget that they have shooty kaplow.
That's true. Actually, they're like,
get him. We're gonna beat you up. We didn't see what happened before because we were watching Rattrap, right?
Yeah.
And then Batty McScreamface was all like, "Hey, you two. No, not all of you, just the generals." And everyone's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then they came rolling. He was like, "Come here a second." We're like, "Okay, what's going on?"
And he's like,
"I bet you can't beat me up with just your fists near this powerful energy field." And they were like, "Huh?" It's like, no, get closer. Close enough that if someone was behind you and they tackled you, you could fall in. Oh, this close. Yeah, perfect. Okay, bring it on. And then they were going to go in, but unfortunately Rattrap didn't see.
He messed the whole thing up. It was perfectly staged.
You know, with how dumb Tankor is, that probably would work on him.
He's like,
I bet you can't take a running start at it too. Like, go as fast as you can. Okay.
So Rattrap looks down and he sees Nightscream in imminent peril. And he's like, well, Nightscream and I, since we go way back, I gotta conjure up all of my strong feelings about this close friendship that I have with Nightscream and selflessly transform. And he does. He transforms into Rattrap.
This guy.
Yeah. Actually, he looks better this show. This toy is hideous. I might be warming up to his design in the show. And now he's like, okay, well, I've transformed. This is awesome. I'm going to go save my friends. And he swings down like Tarzan. Then Rattrap crashes into Jetstorm and Tankor.
Rattrap should have just bounced off of him. What the hell?
Tankor especially. Yeah, that would actually be hilarious. He flies and he's like, he comes to save the day. And then boom. and then Tankor's like, huh?
See, that would have made more sense.
Mm-hmm. And Cheetor jumps in the wrong moment. And he just crashes into the electrocute thingy. There's a whole chain reaction that starts. All these tanks get made, and then they start spiraling around and shooting stuff, and it's a big old mess.
Which, in the end, almost seems like it'd be better because now there's chaos inside the tank making factory.
You just leave the tanks there; they'll just do all the work for you. They'll just destroy it all.
And if they destroy their capacity to manufacture more tanks, Megatron then has to deploy new robots to repair the robots that build the robots. His quarter is done. Mm-hmm. His budget's out of whack. He's got no more people left. He's not getting a bonus.
No. So Rattrap's plugging into the thing to try and like shut things down because he's the R2D2 of the group now.
I thought of that too.
Megatron was trying to figure everything out. He's like, okay, he's like, that's it. I'm gonna try and take over. I'm gonna hook myself in and sort this out myself. And then explosion-y things happen, and there's a huge power surge, and it goes all the way back to Megatron's brain. And Megatron's like, blah, 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 blah. And Rattrap gets a nice little shock himself. And he's like, ugh, and he goes back to beast mode. And then Cheetor's just like, oh, great, now Rattrap's unconscious. I gotta get him out of here. Ugh.
Oh, it's terrible.
And then they go into the sewer, and then everything explodes.
That's a good thing?
I mean, it's the tank making factory, so I guess mission complete. Blackout time. Cybertron is taking a nap. Rattrap is downstairs. I was supposed to say downstairs, but why not? Sure. Rattrap's downstairs talking with Optimus. Optimus is sleeping, by the way. Rattrap's like, I did what you said to do. I found my cool. I started thinking about other people, and then I believed in myself, and I said, I am transformed, and I transformed, and then he transforms, and then everyone's like, hey, don't transform.
You can't do that. That's stupid.
Because then Megatron is going to know we're here and he's going to come and beat us up. And Optimus says... Cheetor tackles Rattrap, pins him to the ground, and then the little screen comes down over Rattrap's face, and he sees something that must have been uploaded into his circuits, which is that he saw Megatron's overloading power surge, and he's like, wait a minute, Megatron's really weak. We gotta go do something about that. Cheetor's like, no, we
can't.
don't.
There's no power, there's no lights. We have to wait until Megatron is back to 100%.
We'll talk about Cheetor. Rattrap turns back into beast mode, and he hears the guys talking, and they're like, he doesn't even have any weapons.
He's not cool like us.
He can
His
turn
family's poor.
He turns into a robot and everything, but like, what does that even do? Now we still got to cover for him because he's useless and stupid and dumb.
And the big bat guy who like literally just joined the team is like, we should just cut him loose. It's like, you have no say. How about you just shut your mouth?
I don't even remember your name half the time. Nightblade.
But like, of all the people to jump in and start talking about cutting people loose.
In Cheetor's defense, he did veto that right away. He's like, no, we don't do that. But anyways, Rattrap wanders off and makes his way over to Megatron's base.
Megatron's all like, how? You said I was fixed. And then Jarvis was like, I didn't say you were fixed. I said you might be fixed.
And Megatron's like, look, Jarvis, just got such a headache. I just really need the night to get better.
He's like, look, you're vulnerable right now, okay? Megatron's like, thanks. I feel vulnerable. He's like, no, you're vulnerable. You don't have Viacons, you don't have weapons, you don't have anything. And Megatron's like, oh, yes, of course.
If we don't fix you, you're gonna die. You're gonna go offline permanently. And Megatron's like, if I go offline permanently, do I still rule the world?
And then Jarvis is like, no.
And he's like, okay, well, I guess we just gotta do what we gotta do. And then Rattrap's like, hey, guess what? I'm here. And then Megatron's like, well, great. I'm gonna die by the rat. I always kind of knew on the inside that's how I'd go. Rattrap's there to strike a deal. He's like, tell you what?
I'll make you an offer that you may or may not refuse, but hopefully you don't, because it's in the interest of both parties.
He's like, I need boom boom sticks.
And I hear you've got lots of kaplows.
And kabooms.
Lots of kabooms.
And ka-choosh. Rattrap's like, okay, so here's what's happening. You give me all the boomsticks. I'm gonna guard you for the whole time that you need to get better. No Maximals will attack you. It's gonna be peachy keen. You get yourself back into a happy state, and then we're good. And then Megatron's like, how about I kill you? And then Megatron's like, hey, wait a minute. I've got an idea. How about I give you boomsticks? You defend me. No Maximal's gonna touch me at all, and then you get to walk away with the boomsticks. I'll be all better. Everyone's happy. And Rattrap's like,
that's a really good plan.
That's a great idea. I like it. I'm in.
You're a genius.
Megatron?
Megatron's like, what do you want, a raise? Get out of here! Give me the kabooms. And Megatron's like, here you go. Here's a kaboom. And it's this really cool looking mech thing.
Yeah.
Something straight out of Mech Warrior, like from like the early 90s. Like
He's
the
got
Mad
missiles
Cat.
and like
Missiles, the friggin' laser batteries,
He's
plus
coming
the
up and
shooty shoots.
yeah, Rattrap. He's in the robo suit. He's looking good. Not gonna lie.
It is a pretty badass suit.
Yeah, makes him look pretty buff. But then he turns around and all the Maximals are there. Well, not except for Optimus.
They left the front door open.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that they were like, "There's no way we are going up to check if Megatron is injured. Not happening. No way, no how." And then they follow Rattrap up there, and they're like, "Hey, look, Megatron's unconscious. Let's take advantage of it." And Rattrap's like, "No, guys, come on, don't be here. Don't be here. Shoot." Night Scream in particular. It's like, I'm gonna get you, Megatron.
With my flappy flaps.
And Rattrap is like, don't do it. Shoots him out of the sky, just like that time in Double Jeopardy where he shot Optimus out of the sky.
Yeah.
But this time he meant to hit Night Scream, and Night Scream got hit.
Yeah, he did. Thank God. A Spider Lady's all like, traitor. And then she starts.
Traitor.
She basically says, if you will not be turned, you will be destroyed. And he's like, oh, Father, please.
So it's a firefight between Rattrap and the three other Maximals.
Which is, you notice something. Rattrap is only using like the green blasters, which is like low power. He fired the ones from the shoulder, and that vaporized that rock. So he's love tapping him. He's like, So he's slapping him. He's like, don't make me do this. Why are you making me do this? And they've got this like profile shot of him. What's the Alfred Hitchcock song?
There's a firefight between the Maximals and Rattrap. Unbelievably, the house is divided. And they're like, I can't believe you betrayed us. He's like, well, guess what? I can defend myself. And you're not going to cut me loose now, right?
Which is a good freaking point.
Yeah.
So you're going to cut me loose now?
And he's like, you guys never believed in me. And then he hears, I believed in you. Optimus is there. I guess he heard a commotion. He's like, I better go do something about this. Oh, God, I just wanted to sleep one day. And he's like, Rattrap, like, you're just a cool dude, man. And I love that you're in our team. And I just really appreciate you. And you're the man.
You're the best.
You're so awesome.
Remember the time I couldn't fit the sofa down the hallway, and so you used your demolition charges and you just blew the hallway even bigger.
It was great, man. I wouldn't have thought to do that. Cheetor, man, you used to be the biggest idiot, and now you're telling Rattrap he's an idiot. Black Rat, yeah, you used to be like the evilest lady in the world, and you're saying he's a bad dude.
She wasn't as evil as
Silverbolt.
But she was pretty bad.
And Ice Cream, I don't even know you, man. What are you doing here? So
What do you do?
What do you
even do?
What do you even do? I reformatted you, and all of a sudden you're like, "Let's kick your teammates out." Whatever, dude.
Whatever, man.
Rattrap, man. Let's get home. Come on. Let's get.
You gotta believe in yourself, man.
And Megatron's like, Rattrap, a life of a Vehicle is a life of sobriety.
No shit, dude. He can't have his Viacom license if he's constantly wasted, right?
You shouldn't be associating with Optimus. He's a bad influence on you. And Rattrap's like, you know what? Forget you, man. Forget you. You can keep your guns. I believe in myself. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let Night Scream take my spot on the team. I'm going home. I'm going to give him what's what. Viacon generals come out and they're like, hey, we're going to beat somebody up. I hear there's an electrical thing we could fall into. And Megatron's like, not today, guys. Not today.
I think we can afford to give him 1 day's head start.
Oh, by the way, man, Megatron's all better now. It's sunrise, and so Rattrap leaves, and
he leaves the kaplow, which is stupid.
Should have brought that with him. It was part of the deal. It was in the deal. But he got safe passage for him and his buddies, so all's good, I guess. The end. This is going to be the first episode of Beast Machines Monday that I'm going to have to do some parental adjustments and say light references to drugs.
Light. We went on for 5 minutes. I really like this episode. I'm not gonna lie. It was a good Rattrap episode. I got flashbacks of Double Jeopardy in there, which was really nice. I think Double Jeopardy was all in all a better episode, but we're not comparing them. I did like that Rattrap. It shows that he's grown. He doesn't want to be sidelined either. He doesn't want to be sort of along for the ride and always in trouble and people are always saving him. But while that might be a fine motivation for some of the other episodes, in this episode he really thought that Night Scream was in trouble, and he transformed to try to save him. And I really like that about him. It shows that he, as a character, has grown quite a bit since the first time we ever met him. Another thing that I really liked was it shows that, strangely enough, seems uncharacteristic of Megatron, but he kept his word. Megatron doesn't like words like honor and integrity. He likes power and obedience. It's interesting that in this episode he kept his word, but it could be part of a larger game. Because he wanted Rattrap to be a Viacon. He wanted him to give up his spark. What's interesting is, there was some action sequences, but the parts of the episode that I found most compelling was when Megatron, when he doesn't have all this power, he's got his mind. And he truly believes that his way is the best way for all of Cybertron. And he's trying to convince, and so it's a battle of ideas. And I like that. Because Megatron's no slouch in the thinking department. He's a smart guy. And to see him try to convince Rattrap to just for 1 day see things from his perspective, it was a little nugget of wisdom that I really appreciated from Megatron.
I think Megatron and Rattrap were definitely the highlights of this episode by quite a bit.
You think Jarvis was? Come on.
Well, no disrespect to Jarvis. Actually, he brought his A game too. He was telling Megatron the facts. The interplay between Rattrap and Megatron basically is the core of the episode.
Yeah.
I thought Rattrap was pretty smartly written. I think that he had a genuine conflict in him.
Yes.
I think he was legitimately tempted.
So did I.
For a little while. I didn't doubt that he would go back to the Maximals, but I do think that from the character's point of view, there was legitimate temptation.
Yeah. I gotta say, he almost wore Rattrap down, again, using words and ideas as opposed to shooting him, which is a fascinating take for a show that, is the successor to Beast Wars, where in that show they did a lot of shooting.
Well, they've done plenty of shooting in this episode too.
Yeah. For it to come to that, and for the real conflict to be inside Rattrap as opposed to what you're seeing, shows that there's layers to this episode. I really, really appreciated that. In the end, Megatron, did I already mention this, him keeping his word?
Yeah, you thought it was a little out of character.
But I really appreciated it.
I mean, you could also argue it was a little out of character for Rattrap. Because remember, you fight with a rat.
Fight dirty.
You better fight dirty.
Yeah.
I think Rattrap was also tempted just to shoot Megatron right then and there.
I think he would have too if Megatron didn't say something.
It's like, hey, but remember, there's a deal.
We had a deal. And I really like that he honored that too. In the end, he implored to the other Maximals, to their maximal senses, Optimus would never shoot or blast or destroy an unarmed, defenseless opponent. And if you're filling in his shoes while he's in the Odin sleep, you should probably live up to those ideals. Or you can't call yourself Rodimus Prime.
Visually, there's some really cool parts, like particularly with the red background and the silhouettes of the characters.
The Hitchcock moments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just something very immediate about that. Like, there's something that kind of highlighted the emotional aspect of the moment. And also just kind of looks cool. So, kudos on an artistic level.
I like that Rattrap stood up for himself. He wasn't 100% in their camp, and that, is in that moment where he's having that, you've got the silhouette, and he's like yelling at them, and it's venting his frustration out at them. I thought it was really great. It was well deserved. It was well earned. And it needed to happen. And artistically, like you were saying, the red with the silhouetted background and the profile shots, and yeah, it worked.
It's very black and white that way, as well as who's on whose side. Maximal, Viacon, and Rattrap is standing on the Viacon side in that moment.
In a Viacon.
In a vehicle of boom boomness. That scene, I feel, is like the
Top drawer.
The high point of the episode, I'd say, right there.
And Optimus coming in. Things were about to come apart, and like I didn't know which way, even though we knew. There's all this conflict, and people are legitimately shooting at each other, and it takes the leader coming in and like using some of that wisdom, like, and just something simple like, no, I believe in you. I believe in you. He calls them out, and then he's like, and look at you shooting at your friends, and then they're like, yeah, and he's like, no, you shut up. What the hell is your problem? And he comes down on them too. I was just like, oh, yes.
Yeah, there's the big bot we've been missing.
Yeah. The big bot that we needed. Not the one we deserved, though.
True. No, totally.
It was a nice warm fuzzy moment that I was like, oh, thank God.
That was good. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
It helped settle things down. I was like, oh. It's like when mom walks in the room and you and your brothers are fighting. It's like, okay.
As for things that you didn't like, I mean, I guess I know we're definitely in agreement on not liking Night Scream in this episode.
Oh my goodness.
Night Scream is the brash young guy, so we get it. He's an edgelord. He's definitely overstepping his bounds. We don't like it. But Cheetor, we expected more from you.
I don't want to attack the writers, but it was poorly written as a vehicle for driving Rattrap out.
Yes.
It was very poorly written for them to just decide that Cheetor was going to completely forget what it means to be a Maximal.
One of his first lines to Rattrap is, "Leave it to the transforming Maximals." It's
like, are you serious?
Like, that's it was out of character, I felt. Like, it was not Cheetor. There were more subtle ways they could have had Cheetor showing resentment.
Yeah, like just have him say like Cheetor like fighting, and then Rattrap trying to help, and then Cheetor having to save him. He's like, Rattrap, you're in the way. Back off. And him get like hit or something instead of being invincible with those stupid blade things. Have him take a hit because he's trying to save Rattrap, and have him like, you're in the way. Then it would have been earned, the anger, right? Not really resentment towards an individual, just the situation. I'm protecting you and I got shot. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then maybe his one arm is down and he's only got one thing. You know what I mean? Like,
there's so many better ways they could have approached it, and
but that's them not treating their audience like they're smart enough to figure it out for themselves. It's like, we really need an antagonist. We need a bad guy in this one, because Megatron's not the bad guy in this episode.
It's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
They don't have a villain. The Viacons aren't bad people. They're going based on whatever they're programmed.
Ultimately, like, it just felt like, they were doing a service to Cheetor's character. They were doing a service to Cheetor's character growth that has been happening through this series so far. And
Black Arachnia, of all the people.
Yeah, Black Arachnia
traitor.
Like, Black Arachnia, do you even understand? Like, most people.
Do you know what irony means?
People who watched Beast Machines, they watched Beast Wars, and they know that you put a lot of bullets in Dinobot. Okay.
You put a lot of bullets in Optimus. You put a lot of bullets in Rhinox.
Like,
blasted the shit out of him and like made him eat console.
We know what you did, okay?
Last summer.
So don't you be waving your little righteous spider flag around going like, how could you? We remember, okay? Yeah. We remember when you were like literally the
worst.
Some like a lunatic spider. I mean, okay, of course you were never Tarantula, so you got that.
She was still psychotic.
No, but you were about to shoot tarantulas in the back.
When it comes to like people making reckless decisions, to bounce back a little bit, because this got me thinking about all the crap that Cheetor put them through.
First 3 episodes.
Oh my goodness.
One after the other.
The second you got outside, you ran.
You ran for it, and you just messed everything up. And sure, he came out smelling like a rose.
You fired the first shot of the Beast War, for goodness sake.
That's right.
My goodness. And then there's the episodes where he was placing all those beacon things in the...
Yeah.
What was that called?
Equal measures.
Equal measures.
Yeah.
Equal...
Measures.
Equal...
Equal.
measures.
Let's say it in unison. Equal measures.
I feel like we did that before.
Anyway, I feel like the Maximal should have known better, and they were being way too antagonistic.
For no reason whatsoever.
Again, we did mention earlier, there was a moment where Cheetor was like, no, we don't abandon our own. But at the same time, like, again, everything could have been handled with so much more grace and more subtlety. I think we driven the point home. Not impressed with the Maximals, apart from Optimus and Rattrap. My only other major complaint of the story, I feel, is that I would have liked the time to kind of be shuffled around a little differently. I feel like the beginning was too long. There's too much, like, goofing around in the tank factory.
Yeah.
And I would have liked a lot more conflict between Rattrap and the Maximals. In the moment, once he got the mech suit, it was supposed to last all night. It felt like 15, 20 minutes. so that whole conflict, I feel like there just should have been more substance and more implications of the passage of time. And I don't know exactly how you could do that, but you could do it. I just feel like it's not an impossible task. The stuff that we had in that conflict was good. I would have liked more of it, basically. So after a little bit of deliberation, but not the most amount of deliberation, but a little bit, we have decided to give the weak component 4 out of 5 Mad Cat mech suits, because of the great character work in Rattrap and Megatron, and even a little bit of Optimus. Yeah, no, it's just dragged down a little bit by, lazy writing with some of the other characters. It really dragged it down quite a bit. Other than that, like conceptually and character-wise for Rattrap, top-notch episode. We did enjoy it quite a bit. You know those YouTube things down there? There's a button where it's red and it says subscribe. If you press it, you'll be treated to an abundance of entertainment. And don't forget to press the thumbs up, because that's you validating us.
Yeah,
and
we need that validation.
Yeah, and because we're very insecure because we're actors.
Yeah.
And we just need you to give, every time you see an actor, you got to give them a thumbs up, okay?
Like, hey, good job.
Okay, good job. And they're like, thank you.
That's why I'm here. That's why I do this.
And you can even comment down below to let us know what you thought.
Yeah, let us know what you thought about this episode. I'm really eager to hear what some of you have to say.
Yeah, opinions are cool.
Yeah. And as always, tell your mom. I haven't said that in 5 episodes.
It's true, it's been a long time.
Hi, welcome to Beast Wars Thursday or something. So today's episode is about weak links in the chain and why we should cut them loose.
He's firing me, is what he's trying to say.
Please gather your stuff and leave.
So it's been a slice, everybody.